Okay, that should be reading 1710. System is in fallback time. That's why it's reading 1610. On that date, it's a Thursday afternoon, and we've observed the police at the T intersection of Blanco Road and Gilbert Lane. They're at the so-called business that's sitting on an apartment complex property, which is a small or micro tiny matchbook in size used car lot and service lot that sits on the apartment complex property of the Santa Fe Apartments located at 5231 Blanco Road. And even though it's on the same property, it has a different address. It's 5223 Blanco Road, 78216. For years, this organized crime ring of the nearby used car sales lots, which this one is connected to the others up and down the block, have been terrorizing our family. They are an organized crime ring of illegal aliens that are using these used car lots as money laundering fronts for human trafficking and smuggling. But because some of these lots are in actual citizens' names, who they themselves are criminals, and that basically shields the fact that these car lots are being operated by illegal aliens. And because San Antonio is a full-blown sanctuary city, they shield and protect illegals and spare no expense to do so, even if it means allowing families to fall victims to these criminals and thugs, who we have been on record and have been sending in video to San Antonio Police and City Hall for years now, and for 22 years now and counting. These thugs have been, again, terrorizing us, stalking, intimidating, harassing. It's a non-stop situation where they proceed to do so even after we have contacted police, and they've caught them in the acts of coming to our homes, intimidating, harassing us, and carrying on their stalking, terrorizing. We've sent in video of they're sending their thug gangbangers to brandish sawed-off felony modified shotguns, brandishing handguns at us. The actual individual who operates this business, we've sent in video of him flashing guns at us, and nothing was done about it. Our home is taking gunfire along with our vehicles. Our pets have been poisoned. We've also had our homes hit with huge rocks. We're trailed into traffic, into grocery stores. I've been cornered by thugs, illegal aliens, in a grocery aisle and couldn't do anything about it except unlock my weapons that I legally carry, and hope that it wasn't going to escalate into a situation that was going to place others in danger, and also had them waiting at our vehicles. Even walking to doctor's appointments lobbies. That's how brazen these individuals are, and nothing has been done about it. We also sent in video proof that they are connected to the cartel. Video proof, solid evidence. San Antonio Police did nothing, absolutely 100% nothing to not even just investigate what was going on, even with the solid video evidence that was sent in, which we finally came to our senses and had to contact state and federal authorities that now include the DOJ. Now, these individuals have been up there for 25 minutes. Now, again, I'm going to basically state for the record, each time that we've called police, which has been hundreds of times, and we have hundreds of hours of evidence to prove that we've been targeted by these gangsters for opposing their taking over of our streets, that loaded up the streets with 18-wheelers, flatbeds, tow trucks, pickup trucks with dollies, and having all their patrons that they all their, I guess, customers that they that patronize this business, which are all illegal aliens that flooded our streets along with all the commercial vehicles. And when we approached them, these individuals did not handle this in a business manner. They completely not only got angry, but they became offended and then became vindictive. And then that's when everything that I've just stated began. And we have now discovered, after digging that the actual individuals are actual neighbors who again are making their fortune on the slave trade, which is illegal aliens themselves, and police do nothing about it. And we're also wondering why state and federal authorities are dragging their feet and not taking any action. So again, we're going to start rolling here. These individuals have been here for 25 minutes. And lo and behold, I'm going to restate it and reiterate it. In the times that we've called police, not once have they ever gone down there to confront the aggressors. Not once. And this is stated as fact. When we've contacted police for these individuals, these are illegal alien gangsters who've come to our home to stand in our front yards and our driveways, send their dangerous gang members to congregate at our home here. Nothing was done about it. But when these individuals, all of a sudden, we found as these police officers are leaving this location, they come straight to our home and basically state that these individuals are claiming that I went down there open carrying and threatened to kill them and also threatened to do them harm. And so all of a sudden now they're confronting us as victims of crime from these very same gangsters who are, again, are cartel connected, and we sent in proof, video evidence that they are, and nothing was done about it. Now we have the whole situation reversed, and they're coming to us claiming that we're the aggressors when we're actual victims of crime. And that just shows you the hypocrisy of the San Antonio Police Department. And we're just completely stunned. And again, we're waiting for state and federal authorities to take action when the DOJ promised us that they would be monitoring everything this time, because we explained to them that San Antonio is a full-blown sanctuary city and does everything they can to protect illegals. And so they're just now leaving this location at the time when we were observing this, because our sensors are long range and they pick up everything entering the perimeter. They're just now leaving after being there for 25 minutes and come to our home. The lead car is going to be a patrolman. The trailing vehicle is going to be a detective with double bars on his sleeves. And we read to have the name be Jacobs. And he's the one that ends up doing most of the talking. And from what we read with the body language and also the tone of voice and the basic viciousness, we pretty much come to the understanding that these individuals are carrying through with several attempts that have been made in the past to try to hurt our family and destroy us by mounting a campaign of not only character assassination, but blackballing our family, but mainly me also, because we were lured into, this is the detective here, you can see the double bars there, and again I read Jacobs, and even though the patrolman is doing the talking right now, the individual detective ends up jumping in and taking over. There's our neighborhood watch sign, there's our sign underneath that says beware cameras in operation and no trespassing. And immediately, once these individuals state that the gangsters down the street have called in because they are stating that I went down there, again, without being repetitive, that I was open carrying and that I was threatening them. Immediately, these guys blow their whole intent of having these gangsters down the street, make it look like they're victims here, when actual the police are aiding and abetting them in carrying out, as I've stated, the character assassination of us and the blackballing of us, the continual blackballing of us by San Antonio police. And they're now, again, because the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing with the San Antonio police, are attempting to mount another campaign trying to build a case to destroy us, because we sent in some damaging evidence and videos of the very things that we claimed, which are solid concrete videos to prove this. And we state this to these individual officers. We're completely dumbfounded at how it is that you're here now claiming that we're the aggressors, when we just sent in all the video last week. We began to resend it, and now you're claiming here that we're the aggressors, when we're actual elderly family. We've done everything in our power to get you all to do something about these gangsters that are not just terrorizing us, but everybody else in this particular sector of the city. They are an organized crime ring. They're cartel connected. And these individuals don't seem to, this doesn't seem to give them any concern whatsoever. See, look at the stance this guy's taken. See, this guy has, you can pretty much tell from the way we're entered into the system that this guy, he doesn't even know us, and he has great disdain for us. He has great contempt for me. Even as he's talking to me, he has no neutrality whatsoever. He's completely carrying through with the fact that we're a problem, and he jumps off the track and doesn't make this a situation where now he's confronting us as aggressors. He's trying to make out the fact that now this is that I am of mental issues and so forth. So he jumps the track on that, immediately reveals his intent by questioning me on my mental stability. That right there alone caused this particular situation that you're seeing now to be a complete facade. It's a farce. It's another attempt to try to destroy myself, all because I battled these gangsters who are basically treated like royalty here in San Antonio, because City Hall, along with the mayor, chief of police, District 1 council, city manager, and code and zoning, all do everything they can to shield and protect the illegal aliens here. And it just so happens that San Antonio will tackle and fight any crime across the city and take action immediately. But when we contact them to try to do something about these organized crime ring gangsters that have taken over here, they completely shut us down and turn it around and make us out to be the problem. And as you can see here, look at the body stance alone that this individual has. See, look at this. And then he completely comes off and jumps off the track again and blows his whole intent of having this thing be these individuals down the street, stating that they're victims, which are liars. I explained to these two cops and this detective, see their double bars there, that they are liars. He completely just disregards that 100% and jumps off and tells me that the Express News now is stating that I went down there to threaten to kill them with my weapons. And I explained to them, why is the Express News, San Antonio Express News, going across town contacting my family, who has nothing to do with this, and stating that they're making an effort to try to get a hold of me when I send out my contact information on everything that we send out as evidence, not only to the locals, but to the state and federal authorities also. And he didn't have anything to say about that. He doesn't have anything to say about why haven't you reviewed the evidence I just sent out all last week to prove that we are the victims here, yet you're here addressing us, not addressing us, had an atrocious stance and the tone of voice and the viciousness to make us out to be the problem here. And so again, it is clear that this is another attempt to blackball us, to blackball myself. Now I've explained to him, go look at the bullet hole in my kitchen window. We don't have the vehicle here that was shot up also any longer, that our pets have been poisoned, our homes have been hit with huge rocks, we're trailed into traffic, and so on and so forth. That doesn't seem to matter with these two guys at all. They're here to basically continue the whole intent, which is to discredit us, try to destroy us. We've stepped on the toes of the mayor, the chief of police, now the new city manager. He's going to join in and become another thug and come after our family. District 1 councilman is a big-time thug, and he's now sent this is a part of his campaign that he's mounted to try to destroy me, because we've gotten into heated discussions in the neighborhood association meetings to discover that, again, also the District 1 Councilman Trevino has great disdain and completely ignored our not basically attempts, but please, what are you doing up at these gangsters who we've also approached you and confronted you in several meetings? You have done nothing. And he completely blew up in a great heated response and started to yell, and I had no choice but to try to be heard and match the volume. And the families witnessed this, and a good number of them basically started to realize that Trevino just basically doesn't care at all about this organized crime ring that he himself also is shielding. We have solid proof from detectives, sergeants, police officers, dispatchers. We have all solid concrete evidence to show their disdain, that each time under our rights we've called police for help, the end result is having them turn on us, just like what you see is happening here with these two officers. They're not here to help, they're here to destroy. And one of the things that we're doing now, again, we're stating for the record, why has not the state or the feds done anything to stop this? Because we've sent them all the evidence also. And they're doing what they commonly do, and that's to take the word over the citizens and believe the police officers, because that's the way the system works. The blue code of silence, and also the blue code of covering for each other, and also covering for each entity of law enforcement, even if the law enforcement entity themselves is corrupt. Again, we are going to state for the record and repeat it, San Antonio is a full-blown sanctuary city, and they're shielding and protecting illegal aliens. They're also now on record that we've reported to the state and the feds are on record shielding an organized crime ring of gangsters. See? So situation here is, this is again where the guy starts to reiterate and make a point of my mental stability, which completely blows the whole intent of this situation. Where how in the world did he even come up with jumping the track on saying that these individuals have reported us as the aggressors? How did he manage to do that? With the countless times that these individuals have completely blown their main intent of coming here to investigate claims that these individuals who are liars, cowards, and organized crime ring gangsters, how are they jumping off the track from that and then basically questioning the mental stability here of basically what they claim for us to have issues, which has nothing to do with why they were called to this location, which they themselves, it's easy to read from the outside looking in that they're being used as pawns, but it wasn't until they themselves started to speak that they revealed their true nature here, which they're not here to follow up and investigate on these individuals claiming that they were victimized. They're here basically to mount another campaign to destroy us, because this is all been orchestrated by City Hall and everybody that you can think of that is corrupt at City Hall. We have solid concrete evidence that we have located that we will be sending in to prove that San Antonio, other major reputable entities, these are research entities that are clad iron in their reputation to be accurate, and their integrity and dignity cannot be questioned, that is completely solid to show, and also their assessment that they have, that San Antonio is behind us. Now I'm going to walk you over. This is early morning hours of the morning, and this guy just pulled up to our home. And sure enough, paper plates, and this is how they do it. See, this early in the morning, it's not even 8 o'clock yet, and they're going to say, oh, you think everybody's after you. Well, this is what we're going to encounter here for the rest of the day. We're going to have all these individuals who are illegal aliens start to show up in front of our home, which is against the mandates and the ordinances, and we're going to have this tiny car lot, which is an organized crime of gangsters. Again, they're human traffickers and smugglers using their own people as slaves, and the city of San Antonio doesn't seem to do that, even though they claim that they're going to be tackling this issue. But when it comes to the 100 block of Gilbert Lane, they could care less. So again, one of the situations is that just alone for me inserting the blue pickup truck here, they're going to claim, oh, this guy thinks everybody's after him, which let us go back to the solid evidence that we've turned in that nothing was done about. So the situation here continues. Please excuse my voice. It's early in the morning. Also, we're trying to capture this as best we can, because the surveillance systems that we have that surround the house are constantly engaging from the fact that we are targeted around the block, which San Antonio doesn't do anything about. And we're also questioning the state and federal authorities, whom we've countlessly sent in all information to, that they could keep resending everything back, thinking that San Antonio is going to do their job fairly and equally. San Antonio Police, along with the City Hall, has done nothing but violate our rights. And we question them also for the public to know and the world to know, why are they not doing anything against these organized crime ring gangsters who have targeted our family, especially after we've turned in solid concrete video and they took no action whatsoever. And yet the state and federal authorities back off, thinking that city is going to do their job and police are going to do their job, when in actuality they don't. They completely just allow these gangsters to target us. We're an elderly family. This has all been nothing but hate crimes under the specific category of our being elderly, and these individuals come at us. That qualifies this legally as hate crimes, because we've sent in, again, over the decades, constant video of our being tormented, intimidated, harassed, terrorized, and stalked. And not one thing has been done by San Antonio Police or any of the countless mayors' regimes that have all been radical leftist regimes, where we've gotten sucked in the middle between the pull of left and right, where we had no choice but to finally take sides and take the side of the safety in order to get some kind of attention and have some kind of safety secured for our family. But we can guarantee one thing: even if we were to move, that would be an exercise of futility, because these gangsters will follow us no matter where we go. And we've been approached by contacts and other families in the city who know these gangsters and stated that they've placed a hit on you, and that's why they've revealed they are from the cartel, and they're not going to stop until they kill you. And one of the things that we've also pointed out is that they have been purchasing up all the homes where long-time, well-established families are fleeing from the crime here that these gangsters are behind, and San Antonio has done nothing about, and they're placing all their soldiers camouflaged in these houses as families, which in reality, they're basically soldiers and amassing a huge army of nothing but just a whole total regime that is based on being shielded and protected by Sanctuary City City Hall here in San Antonio and police. And we have discovered, because we are private investigators, or we are a team of private investigators, we're not independents, and of a corporation that we used to work for, but we split off and now work together as a group on our own, and place the whole area under surveillance. Please excuse my voice, it's early in the morning. And place the whole area under surveillance and started digging and investigating, and sure enough have discovered that all this corruption that we've uncovered leads directly to City Hall. We again will be inserting the entities that have not backed us, but that we have located that align with our discoveries of the corruption, and is going to show that for some reason or other, even though these individuals have now been exposed and have exposed themselves, are completely oblivious that they have now been discovered and act as if they have done nothing wrong, especially since a good number of officials in City Hall and also the chief himself are under investigation for violations of a good number of the laws. But we could continue on and be here forever. I digress because of the fact that we're having the other surveillance systems pick up all kinds of activity. It's Saturday, the early hours of Saturday morning here on the 31st. And we're going to have the situation where the gangsters are going to start coming at our family and have to be prepared for that. And also have to be prepared for the fact that San Antonio will not respond for any calls that we place. So we basically capture everything on electronic video to prove that our rights are being violated. We're not being given fair and equal treatment, nor fair and equal protection under their jurisdiction. And at the same time, there's no law and order being maintained here, and no one's keeping the peace. Even though it looks like it's dormant, don't let that fool you. This is only the second week that only because of the fact that the neighborhood association became involved and is now highly organized, that we finally have the streets clear, and we are starting to experience some kind of dormancy, when we've already shown from evidence that we've been picking up and sending in, where explosive waves of these gangsters come at us, even with city vehicles sitting in our front door curbs witnessing everything. No action was taken. So we're going to drop off here and be prepared for the day now, and be prepared also to send everything into the state and federal authorities, which we no longer send into the locals, because they will do nothing but completely ignore it, destroy it, delete it, or claim that we never sent it in, and basically join in on adding to the campaign, as we've mentioned, of blackballing us and character assassinating us, which is in violation of not just our rights, but all the other families here who have been finally coming forward, because they're starting to say, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be experiencing having anyone do anything about the crime that is explosive here, which is the drug dealing, the prostitution, the gunfights, the bullets flying, the constant criminal activity here at this apartment. That's an open complex, non-enclosed, non-fenced in, non-walled in, and that's one of the reasons it's such a crime magnet. And lo and behold, there you have the car lot that sits right on the same apartment complex, a commercial business in violation of the residential zoning laws, ordinances, and is being shielded and protected by code and zoning by having them rezone it over and over, which will do no good, because it does not have the ample land, real estate, acreage, or space to function, which is required by the mandates, and it does not qualify for being or under the grandfather clause, because it's not the original business. So we drop off here and let the information that we've accrued here from these one officer and one detective show up, that they're beginning to mount another facade or conspiracy to carry on the blackballing and character assassination of our family. And we're now ready to see what's going to happen next. And this is for the record. And we now have San Antonio Express and News that has jumped into the melee, who, again, we were reading that they were also going to be here to do nothing but hurt, have come onto our property, and we'll be sending that in also in combination with this to prove that they did nothing but basically assist San Antonio, and were probably sent here by the city council himself, if not city hall, and also police, because again, we've stepped on people's toes after being terrorized and are waking up to the fact that these individuals are now trying to kill us, which attempts have been made. When your home and vehicle take gunfire, you know that these people aren't messing around here. They're completely now continuing with the fact that they've revealed they're gangsters and don't care at all about letting themselves be seen or exposing themselves, because they know that they're being shielded and protected by the corrupt city of San Antonio local government.